the place was describably beautiful. In summary, the jetty will bask in the evening sun and just above the shoreline was a well-tended garden with terrace to sit on, large storage seat and greenhouse. Martha looking happily. She and the league of the pensioners were walking around the garden, delighting in the future. Rake pictures what he could grow in the greenhouse while Christina inhaled the cold smell of the cellar and talked about all the good food she could store here. In the two large sections in the cellar, there was plenty of room for potatoes, plums, apple, and other fruit, and the perfume owner had a setup with shelves along the walls where you could keep everything from milk and meats to wine. A bronze-stained doors lead from the earthen cellar to the storage shed where you could keep all the tools and other things necessary to look after the garden. Next to the lay a large old-fashioned woodwork sheet with a carpenter bench and a ladder. The old owner left behind a set of tools and he intricately stroked the bench, dreaming of all that he could make there. He smiled happily and took Martha's hands. The estate agent pointed out a great old house in Nora Lucknow here on Farmdo. It is a peacefully and chosen neighbor with a lovely old country house. The house has a large courtyard and beautiful view. This house has a hall and bedroom on the first floor. There is library, dining room, kitchen, and a beautiful grass veranda on the ground floor. But apparently the wooden floor was the house which damaged the roof tiles were cracked. The gutters were full of rotting leaves and the chimney was cracked. Man in his 50s sat with two children, along with his younger sister Emma, who was on maternity leave. The old country house started to feel more like a proper home, and the league of the pensioners felt at home there. The bedrooms were cozy. Martha loved her flowery wallpapers, and Anna Greta and Christina were very pleased with the wooden floor and the light colors of the walls. The library looked like a scene from a Carl Lesson painting. The wooden paneling and the screening board were painted in the pastel shade, and up by the ceiling was a rainbow of flowers and swans. Anna Greta booked everything the League of the Pensioners need on the internet. A dress, Wuno learned about cars, helped her to process an old Volkswagen minibus in good condition, a spacious vehicle which would serve as their private OAP transportation. And their new house, Christina often sat in the library or the veranda. She had booked a whole lot of classical as well as a big box English detective stories. Well, she organized them on shelves. She hummed to herself quoted lines of well-known poems. She had not felt so good for a jazz. Prince was happy with life too. He had to hold on old motorcycle which worked an hour in the yard. What he had really wanted was a Harley Davidson, but was too expensive, so he then had to steal for a blue from the First World War. Rake inspected the greenhouse and talked about what he would like grown in there. Tomatoes were a must, but perhaps cucumber and grapes too. Then the weather around in the garden had a good look at the fruit baskets and started planning what he would know in the spring. Now, and he glanced up the neighboring house. The woman he had glimpsed behind the curtains seemed exciting. She had jet black hair. Anna Greta had been checking an online auction site and finally had found a fancy vinyl gramophone together with 15 large boxes of vinyl records. Her friends had grumbled at first, but after she had agreed that would not play her favorite religion songs and her according music more than once a day, they went along with it. The collection has included a lot of records with choral music and that was particical, of course. Admittedly, they did not sing quite so often those days as they could not perform with their choice day. I'm so pleased that Andres and Emma come to help. I'm here on the radio about home health service paid for by the council, Christina told them. One woman had 70 different home helpers in 6 months. It's a disgrace. It cannot go on like that, Raka muttered and clenched his fist. You should not be allowed to treat people like that. Exactly. That's why we should go on working, so that we can help more people so they could to have as good as us, said Martha. And then they'll smile and imagine all the joy their donation could bring about. Their deception and robbers had indeed paid very well so far. Despite their stay in Las Vegas being successful, they still had not amassed the 500 million they wanted, so they could not start taking it easy yet. In Martha's opinion, they must get some more money in. Perhaps they could carry out a new robbery, a little insane one. Something that will provide some money but not be too demanding of them. All 5 of them had, however, been a bit careless about their physical condition, so now they would have to make sure they could peg it to shape before they could even begin to think up any new crimes. Martha looked on Block SA and eventually found some cheap equipment from a gym that had closed, and a crisis treadmill, dumbbells, ramps, and rowing machine were stored in the garden see until a gym wash. When they had all settled down in their new home, Martha gathered their friends together into library for important meeting. We cannot call ourselves the League of Pensioners any longer because the name is notorious in Sweden. We must give ourselves a new name, she said. I think we should go with a new name that sounds more international, mused Raka, who had traveled the most in his younger days. They discussed Halloween, angel birds, grey holidays, hidden diamond, and a well lot of other little before finally settling on Earthworld holidays. It's a good contemporary fall too, Martha said excitedly. And then she and Brian went down to the newly purchased letterbox and the root glued on the name with big black letter. From now on, all the post was to be sent to Outwell Holidays, Mr. Agent to Nora Laknofarmdo. The 5%er had acquired a new home, a new life, and new dangers challenge name.